for a bit. Uh, Trying to get. I was, last like year has been really challenging with kind of my injury, but then
Yeah,
it's been like one of the biggest years of growth as well.
yeah.
And so it's been great. Been training with Olin. I got one of my athletes, another guy named Owen, he tore his ACL in January. And so we've been working together. He's been getting great progress. A couple other athletes, a lot of basketball guys, and
Yep.
we just been cooking it up in this garage here. Uh,
That's the
Olin
spot.
Olin can do handstands, backflips, and he's getting up to the dunk.
There we go.
Uh, yeah, or like, can you dunk?
I
No?
can dunk.
Yeah, you can dunk. Yeah, so we're
Nothing
we're,
crazy. Nothing crazy.
we're gonna try to get some dunks in today. And then yeah, like my knee is like totally better. I kind of messed my hip up on a slant squat, but like my knee's feeling great. I saw some of the stuff Mitchell's doing with hips. That was pretty cool. I want to learn more
Come
about
on,
that.
baby.
Yeah.
Have you
So yeah,
spoken yet?
I spoke with Mitchell when I was in Mexico once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That was when we were just starting to have conversations, I guess.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been great, man. Been using Dents. We kind of been like merging kind of Zach Woodwork's
Yeah.
programs with like Dents and upper body and like a lot of skipping
Yeah.
and like low level plyometric.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Olin, how have you been feeling with like all the skipping since we've been doing lots of jump rope?
It's been great. Yeah, I enjoy it. Something that's like you can do kind of like the 5 days each day of the week. So
Yep.
low plyo, but honestly, I think it's massive gain so far.
Yeah, and Olin used to have like really bad. So we're just talking about this, like middle school and beginning of high school. He had really bad back pain. We started working together. We did like a couple trap threes and some back extension. His back pain got fixed.
Wow.
And then he had knee pain like throughout high school, and like mid-season he was able to get rid of it basically with 2 sessions a week of like deep strengthening, deep knee strengthening.
Huge.
Um, and then um, yeah, and so basically we've been doing just like we've been trying to follow the principles. We're doing lots of like sets of 20
Yeah.
with like slant. We're doing a lot of like calf raises on the slant board in every direction, doing like seated calf raises, like a deep squat calf raises, like lots of like foot stuff, lots of skills. Um, and it's good. Yeah, we actually just made like our first like kind of program.
Yep.
Olin's working with me all summer.
Nice.
And I mean, we'd be interested in coming down to Colorado if that's open.
Yeah,
But
you should get down here. This is the place where it's all happening. We got Moochie and Zach and Stephen Cox and George, and yeah, it's a good crew coming down in 2 weeks. Graham Tuttle's coming as well, so there's like
nice.
over 2 million audience between these guys, I think, or at least Moochie, I think's got 1 million himself. He's saying,
Nice.
but yeah, there's some big reach and a lot of deep thinking going on there. Yeah, really cool to hear the program's progressing well there in person. I think, are you willing to share the secrets today, Mitchell, of what we were talking about of the co-contraction and the end contractions and stuff? That there's like some stuff there around especially around knee stability, that's quite different that Mitchell's being given to some of the guys with the knee stuff. Like on the one-to-one calls, but maybe we can discuss it a bit more today as well. Yeah, you're right to stay on for a minute because yeah, you guys are working together. I guess he's part of the team.
Yeah, no, we can stay on. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
gotcha.
we wanted to come on and kind of learn something new and,
All
and,
right.
and
Do
kind
you,
of
do you,
see you guys.
you know Liam as well? Yeah, you've been through his online course, online how to build an online business.
Yeah, I was actually trying to find that one to teach Olin here,
Yeah, we'll get
but
you
yeah, I've been through
reconnected
that.
with it. Liam's the
Yeah.
man.
Might need an update.
Okay, a lot of value there. That was actually life changing, man. Yeah.
Well, well,
Even
Do you
more to
know-
come.
Have you
Yeah.
met Mitchell, Liam?
Hey,
I
Liam.
haven't.
It's like
Oh,
looking
Sam.
at beer, isn't it?
How's it, brother?
How we doing?
Excellent. How are you, man?
Yeah, rolling.
Good, bro. Good. Where you from, Liam?
UK,
Oh,
Sheffield.
Yeah, Liam's one of the dream team. He's one of the honor roll students. He's done so much to help a lot of the other guys. He helped Moochie a lot in the early days, and Evan, I'm not sure if I showed you, but he's been building guys up. Like,
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he's on another.
That's the
level.
way, bro. Giving other people the way.
Yeah,
You know?
he's
100%.
he's
I'm
a
the master.
man of the Lord as well.
Yeah, learn from the master. That's right. Okay, so hey, Greg. Hey, Kevin. How's it going, boys? Oh, so I want to share some of the co-contraction stuff. So I'll use the hamstring quad complex as an example. Okay, so when we see a lot of injuries, especially like people sort of looking for the shape, the general shape, not the function of ATG, but the shape of ATG, when people are just launching into it, you know, and looking for the shape. I'm a big believer that the shape is useless unless there's tension in it, you know? So it doesn't matter how big we can get if someone comes over and they're just like, can easily like attack me, push me over situation. It's only a valuable shape if I have, even in this shape, like if I have tension, right? And if I'm just here, where I'm just vulnerable, then I can get in the shape. And a lot of the shape has to do with like ego. It's like I want the shape, but it's not functional if we don't have tension within it. So if we use the knee, for example, this will get a lot of the ATG system that just like pushes the knee way over toe. Obviously, that's great. What you find in a lot of it is that people are so focused on the quad that they've left the other side of the knee, they've left it completely slack. So you guys can test right now if you want. As soon as you go into this sort of flexion, you'll notice, just take your hand and touch your hamstring. And the odds are pretty good that you won't find anything there. There's like no tension there at all. Okay? What I teach is like a positional tension, which is like if I flex my knee as hard as I can, okay, I get this tension running through all the way to hamstring. And then what you'll find is initially you can put it here, but then as soon as you get into like here, you sort of lose it and it will go floppy again. That essentially tells you where the end range of your functionality is. Because once we go past there and then the hamstring just turns off, now it's like we've got this shearing knee. The quad is just, so the top of the quad roll is to like sort of push forward, you know, like how I'm resisting as I'm pushing forward. The hamstring roll is to pull back. So if I'm just quad, then I get these like shearing knee forces because I don't have control of the rear side of the leg. So the skill is like, well, can I keep tension in the hamstring as deep as I can? And the best athletes in the world are hamstring dominant, not just from a pull perspective, but from a push perspective. So like I can jump out of my hamstring right now by extending the hamstring. Because people lose the fact that like the hamstring is 50% of the knee ability. But you see like as soon as you go into these deep positions, you completely lose control of the hamstring. But it's 50% of stability. It's also 50% of power. It also brings the tendon and the tendons into the whole thing. So the co-contraction, as we were just speaking about, is the ability to hold on to hamstring tension through like deep knee flexion, okay? So it can be used in like a performance side, but then there's also people who are like, well, why my knees hurt, why? I can get in all these deep shapes. I was told that if I can get in these deep shapes, my knees would heal. And the fact is we're being lazy with it. Whereas like, have you ever seen a chimpanzee turn off tension, bro? No way. They're just like ready to rip your face off in any moment, right? They can't turn it off. Okay? So they move as like one single unit. There's no compartmentalization. And when we go into this thing here and we're just kneeing it out, just kneeing it out. Keeks, bro, I don't know if you know something about Keeks. He has a thing, he can't sneeze. So like he holds his sneeze in, dude, and he wonders why he's got 2 hernias in his life. The amount of intra-abdominal tension he could put through his body with a sneeze, dude, is like
I'm hernia proof now.
something to be studied.
I'm like the Wolverine of sneezes.
Okay, so like if we just watch the hamstring, and this is like, you know, not very loaded, but if I turn that off, now I'm just pushing through the quad. This is just this shearing force. If I turn the hamstring on, I've got so much more stability and power within this thing, and I can actually push out of this as well by lengthening the hamstring.
Let's check in.
Sorry, yeah.
What did you feel there doing that? Test it on your other side, Liam. Did you test it?
I'll try the other side.
It's not the easiest thing to make that hamstring, especially like all the way down. Like this is a big thing that people have been talking about it in different ways, but it's not just can you do Nordics, it's can you support your knee? Like it's a different question that relates to how to have optimal joint function. It goes across all joints, but the knee one is the biggest. Yeah, what are you noticing there? Yeah, I'm keeping my face off because
You can't have a beard and eat eggs at the same time.
I'm covered in egg over here. We went to the gym and had coffee, and then it's breakfast time.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine never, like, it doesn't feel like it goes floppy. Like, I feel like it's impossible to turn off.
To turn on or to turn off?
To turn off.
Oh, that's great. So that's a huge skill that many people do not have. If you find someone with knee pain, especially someone who says, okay, when I go really deep into a knee bend and I get this clicking or this gapping sensation, one of the ways you can get them to start controlling that is to have hamstring tension through deep knee flexion.
Most people you work with are going to be floppy, Liam. So
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, and even like being in the deep squat or in the bottom of the deep knee bend, we should be able to create hamstring tension, which is kind of a weird thing. Like, yeah, if you go down to the bottom and contract,
It's almost like a squeeze against the calf. And then you can, like, when I jump out of this position, I'm like jumping from here. Like the quads are on anyway because of the angle. But this bounce that I'm creating here, this is strictly from hamstring tension. There's no quad fatigue here at all. And I can jump out of that and lengthen from there.
it seems a little bit like bullshit to me, but it's Archuleta, and a lot of guys have been speaking about this for a long time, but I haven't actually been in person with somebody who both believes in it and can really make those muscles contract. I'm pretty poor at it. Like I was doing front squats today with 185 because I'm now converted to pounds living over here, and I don't know what it is in kilos, but no, it's like 82 or something. But I did it for 3, and I was like fully contracting the hamstrings as much as I could, like on the way down, and then when I was in the bottom, doing pauses in the bottom, and I couldn't feel my hamstrings at all during those 3 reps. But when I put the bar back in, I could feel after that my hamstrings had actually been on, like I could feel that little bit of fatigue of like, okay, my hamstrings were working there. And this is something really, really new for me that I'm excited about. And all the jumping and everything should be coming from the landing. We want to come from those hamstrings. And yeah, I don't think it's been addressed very well. Mitchell's been doing some one-to-ones with guys who've got knee pain. Have had like knee issues for a long time, and they're noticing something like immediately with when they're like forcing
Generally, if I can put you in a position with knee pain, and you go, okay, it hurts when I get here, and then I'll test where you can hold tension, and the place where it hurts is like a few degrees after you lose tension, you know? And then if I say, okay, let's work on tension, hold it through that position, they can work on tension, then all of a sudden we can immediately get through that place where it doesn't hurt. So it's just a skill, but this is a skill that It's a skill that the best sprinters in the world, right, he hasn't learned yet. Dude.
Keep that tension on.
He hasn't learned yet. You see how I barely moved?
He was wrestling this chiropractor in the gym today. This poor old guy's just trying to get his session done, and Mitchell's wrestling me across the gym floor.
Bro, he thought he could get me. He gave me his neck and his leg in one move. It's great. So anyway, yeah. I don't want to rant, but
Yeah, I mean, then it's like, well, what if the structure's actually damaged? And so when you're saying there about going to, if you feel knee pain, like it's only because you're not activating the hamstring or whatever, like you haven't got the stability. It's like, what if the structure itself is actually damaged and you're just putting pressure on the, say, the meniscus, for example, and that position just puts pressure on the meniscus, even if you're contracting and whatever.
Well, it's not only that you're not contracting. This is just one piece of it, right? But
Right.
I'm gonna solve the.
if someone says they have a meniscus, like to you, like what are the options?
Deep knee bends all day.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, are you gonna get surgery? No. All right. Well, let's move forward to some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just fixed a meniscus tear within 7 months. Like I was back to full sport after like a full meniscus tear.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's the thing. It's like when it comes to injuries like meniscus or really any injury you would tell me about, I would like stay out of the weeds of like what is it called? What's the general prognosis? The first question would be like, well, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to get surgery? And they'd be like, no. And I go, all right, well, let's just move forward with the rest of the stuff now. So tension is like one of the huge parts of it. It's not all of it. For a meniscus to get buggered up, there's been dysfunction already. So I would find that dysfunction through soft tissue work and probably some structural corrections. I could almost guarantee post meniscus there was something in the hip and the ankle, and then I could guarantee after meniscus, after the weight shift and the timing has been off, there's probably something in the hip and the ankle too. So the tension is just one part of it. But if you've been having a knee thing for 1 year and then you don't believe there's any way out of it and you've tried everything, and then over a Zoom call I can tell you to do something, you don't feel it, that's the beginning to me being like, hey, like we can get out of it, which is the biggest part to people falling in the hole with injury. When they've tried everything, they cannot see a way out. The biggest barrier is, well, if I can show you just a glimpse that there is a way out, we're gonna be on the track, because that's so.
Liam's done that with like 1,000 guys over the last 3 years or so. Like,
Sure.
They're one of the biggest impact, like probably the most
biggest
impact that anyone's had.
in the world.
Yeah, well done, dude. Excellent.
Yeah. And so how would you then teach that? Like it's just doing the exercise and trying to get them to contract the hamstring, or you do other exercises?
Yeah, I mean, so the hamstring contraction, like there's a skill portion of then there's an adaptation portion of it. The better the athlete you are, the more you'll be able to hold on to hamstring contraction. Like very natural athletes can hold on to it. There's some good athletes that can't hold on to it yet, but they can learn really quickly. Like Mooch is a great athlete, but when I told him to hold on to hamstring tension, doesn't have that ability quite yet, which is fine because he's a great athlete without it. But when I taught him to at least feel it, when I showed him the feeling, he was pretty surprised at how the feeling made him feel on the jumps and the squats and everything. And also, when if you're a proof of concept, you can prove it right there about that. It makes you jump higher, it makes you run better, it makes you, your sprints, your change of direction, all the stuff is right there. So yeah, the way I would teach it is, can we just do it? Okay. And then can we do it in a lift? Can we isolate it and do it in certain positions? Just like you would gain a strength in any other sport, right? It's just not a skill that most people know about or know how to teach or know even how to learn or that you should learn it or anything. So yeah, first position, then isometric, then strength, different positions, hold it dynamically, just the same procedure as many other ways.
It's Trump.
Oh, Trump's on the phone. Yeah, no, proud to be an American. It's great.
On the burner.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you guys have any? Yeah, you have any other questions or interested in that?
Even sitting in that position, Joe, and sorry, I've forgotten your name again already.
Olan, wasn't it?
Olin.
Olin. How do we spell it? Is it Olan?
Olin.
Olin. All right, gotcha. It's a great name. Can you contract your hamstrings there in that bottom position? Do they cramp?
Mine don't. Or do you?
Like,
Yeah.
I can engage them slightly, but like cramp is like a whole other thing.
Yeah. What about in the lunge position? Did you test it there as well? How was that?
That was pretty good. I can like I can contract them slightly, but it's hard to like hold that position or feeling for like very long.
Yeah. Mitchell, when he does this stuff, it's like a flexed bicep in the mid position, like rock hard. We're doing it on the tib raises and stuff as well. We're going to touch on that as well. I think I got some egg there. But yeah, it's like being able to do it in those different positions. And then of course, like we want it to be automatic, subconscious, at high speeds. But if it's not something we can voluntarily do, then it's something that can give, like it's a tool, and it's something that can transfer belief immediately, especially if like someone's got chronic knee pain and then they do that and they feel a difference straight away, which like Mitchell's had that on calls with guys who've had serious knee pain, multiple surgeries, like 5-6 years sagas of stuff, and then they can feel a difference. Like, so that's a super powerful tool. Even if it wasn't the key to everything, it's still like such a
Just a very important, just one very important piece. Yeah.
What about you, Kevin and Jacob? Jacob. He keeps calling you Jacob, and I'm like, who the fuck's Jacob? Jacob.
Yeah. Try. So you can switch it up.
G'day, hi everyone. I had the similar discovery like Liam did. I find it hard to turn the hamstring off. I think it comes in naturally for me. Never had any knee issues though.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, this is what you want, but it doesn't yet. It's also like shows the contrast to someone that you're working with who's just like got completely floppy hamstring, and like, okay, they're having a different experience of this movement to what I am. So it's like brings awareness to the difference.
Didn't Poliquin somewhat talk about that in like the deep knee bend? He used to say like don't like always be contracted in the bottom.
Yeah, like keeping the quads on and stuff is something that people talk about, like staying tight the whole thing, and don't just treat it as a stretch. But that's I don't know, like I don't remember it at all from like the PICP2 or anything talking about the role of the hamstrings in the squat. Pavel Tsatsouline talks about it quite a bit, and Jay Schroeder talks about it. But it's not something that I've ever really taken that seriously. When I come here with this guy, it's like one of the first things that he's wanting to see. So
And what I'm trying to transfer here is a certain tension that is like very elite tension. Like it's tension from like 100-meter sprinting or 400-meter sprinting background, you know? A tension that most people will really never experience if they're not doing that. But I believe that being that is just a skill. The skill is whole body tension, just like you know, the skill of running a longer distance is posture while absorbing and releasing force. So like I believe you don't have to run the long distance to figure that out. If I can just isolate that skill and then teach you that, then you're immediately, not a year later, you are immediately a better long distance runner. You're immediately a better sprinter and jumper. That's how I've been going through my life, is I've experienced certain things that many people may not. And I've isolated a few skills within that give you an immediate acceleration and growth through like the unlocking of the body versus versus like the building of the body, both which are good, but one is significantly faster than the other. So even without load, I can put huge tension through my leg, and that would be how I would hit the ground as a sprinter or as a one-footed jumper, right? Even without load. And it should be like corded steel.
Yeah, Liam, you were asking like, where does this come from? Like, I've seen it in lots of different backgrounds, but a lot of the stuff with Mitchell, like I've realized he's been so in his own body that it was hard for him to be with himself. Like he shared that a bit on other calls, that he's been hyper aware of his body since a young age, and he won the US Nationals in the 200, 400, and 800 as an under 14 sprinter, which is basically impossible, like physiologically impossible to be the 200, 400, and 800 champion in especially in the United States, like where the standards are so high. And it comes from this hyper awareness of his body and the tensions and stuff. Every gym session that we're going through, it's like a deep dive into, what is going on. And some people are like this with their injuries, and it's like a hypochondriac thing of they've got like a million sensations to tell you about of why they're broken and how their life sucks. But Mitchell's like the opposite, where it's all about how it plays out in performance, and anything that's like not 100% as you want it to be, it's just an opportunity of like, okay, well, that's the next thing to work on. But yeah, like I've heard him working with his clients, and he's had a runner come here who's looking to break the Purdue 5K record, which is a prestigious university in the States. A lot of people have run hard on that track team, and it's quite a big thing to if he's able to break that record. But I see like he asks for like complete trust. And it's a lot to ask for, especially in the modern time with so many influences coming in from so many different places. And it's quite confronting, even like talking about like, okay, I need your complete trust with this. But what I can say from having nearly a month here is that everything that he's sharing is 100% what he's experiencing, and he's like basically kept it to himself in a cave for the last 25 years, and now he's sort of telling people about the stuff that he really values and like why he was able to break those records. And then he went and played professional sevens rugby, professional beach volleyball. He's run 20-hour like ultra marathons through the mountains. He's run barefoot through the mountains. Like it's not your average person. Yeah, how's your soccer?
It's the juggling's great. I just haven't played on a team up. But when we were playing, when I was playing rugby at a high level, we used indoor soccer as conditioning. So I could definitely hold my own. My shot's pretty sick, and then so yeah, I feel confident. It's I do feel not self-servingly, like I do feel confident in any position that I've put in. Like that's been something I've really been striving for. Is like, the military guys and they have this saying that's like, be hard to kill sort of thing. Yeah, and I think I've applied that to like, life. I don't want to be caught off guard by a weakness, and sometimes I am, and that's great. Then I just like obsess over it and learn it, and then it's not a weakness anymore. But, yeah, that's really what I strive for. If someone said, let's go play soccer, I want to like be a good soccer player.
Yeah, he's not the best at every sport or every skill, but he's been learning the juggling, and we've been doing a lot of soccer, like foot juggling and stuff. And yeah, he's like super open to learning new stuff and skills, and like it's just fun, and there's no ego in the games. Well, there's a bit maybe just goofing around, teasing each other, but yeah, the other side of this contraction stuff that we were doing this morning was we're doing tib raises and like fully contracting the calves in the bottom of the tib raise. And I don't know if any of you have played around with that. But yeah, I again, like I couldn't create much tension in the bottom. I could switch on a bit, but yeah, Mitchell was able to create like full calf tension in the fully stretched position with like 10 kilo type, 11 kilo something, like tib raises. So this could be another one to play with of awareness of creating tension in your body.
Owen's been on the tib bar. He's pointing his toes, like contracting his calves at the bottom for a bit now.
Awesome. Yeah, if you can't, it has to do with like the range of the front of the ankle, the range of plantar flexion, not necessarily from like the toes, but like just from the ankle, like is like a pretty big indicator of like how much pressure you could put through the ground on, or how much you can extend in a jump, or how much you can extend in a run, or something like that. So I think it's huge, and if the tibs can hold weight. Remember, when you co-contract, if I contract the tricep, the bicep relaxes. So if I can do this, if I want to create this length in the bicep, if I want to control, we have this like long range length. If I squeeze this, the bicep has to be able to be relaxed while maintaining force. While holding a weight, right? So it has to be able to relax while still applying force to the joint. So the co-contraction has a secondary part, and that's one of the great things about the tib raise where you contract the calf, is the tib has to be able to take force while fully extended and not off, but like relaxed at the insertions. So it's like this huge addition to like de-risking any injury and being able to like fully extend the ankle. The ankle, a lot of people work on plantar flexion, the ankle being able to go all the way down. If you can only point that, well, then that's the limit of range to produce force. So if you can go all the way there, that's great. Like that's what we want. But if you have to go there and you can't have any tension with it, then just like the knee over toe lunge, then we've kind of like lost the point. We're just going for shapes versus functionality. Even when I do yoga, I did yoga for so many decades of my life. I taught and I professed it, and it was a huge thing. I would just go, when I was in yoga, the whole time I was just maximum tension throughout the body. And people say that's the opposite of yoga. And I would argue that it's not. I think it's what it's actually meant for.
Nice. And have you guys on the calf raises and like different variations of calf raises? Are you playing that as well, or playing with that as well with the tib? You guys saying? Or?
Yeah. So we do a ton of calf raises, ton of different foot positions on the raises. I do this high arch hold that's just like ridiculous, and because I'm going for maximum tension, the system should be on anyway. So if I tension the ankle, even without weight, you could see like it all stiffens up anyway, right? Even without the weight. So I practice on everything, putting maximum tension through, whether I'm moving or whether it's isometric, putting flexion through that. It's another one of those track and field sprinter background things that help me in everything else. Is like, if you can tension a joint, everything around it just fires. And it shouldn't be, there's no compartmentalization. I move away from compartmentalization.
What are you picking up here? Chapter 1's going to finish in 5 minutes. Those who want to do chapter 2, it'll be more Q&A, but we'll go a bit broader, but let's stick on this tension and active tension flexing kind of topic for now.
Yeah, looking at that, so I think we were talking about this last day. So, when you're coming up past that drive phase and then going transition, your leg comes out, you're striking the floor, right? Then I'm just thinking, when you were saying you hold so much tension in the bottom position, that's kind of like if someone's going to hit the floor here and it keeps collapsing. Have you noticed that, like in their running and then that in the gym, if they can't hold those positions or that tension that you're talking about, there tends to be collapsing continually at the ankle structure? Like, is there any like correlation that you've seen?
Yeah, but most people don't need or aren't pursuing like sprinter like tension, but it seems to me like everyone on this call is like, and if you also, there's the athlete part, then there's the coach part. The athlete that wants to jump high, run fast, just be an absolute monster, like that athlete needs tension. And there's the other coach side where it's like the coach needs to experience tension so that we can guide the athlete or whoever we're working with on the sliding scale of tension. So we need to experience no tension. We also need to experience maximum tension. So then we can guide who we're working with on where to be. Every activity requires a different amount of tension. It's the reason why you'll never see a world-class sprinter surfing. They have too much tension to surf. Okay? So, but what about this? What if we had the sprinting tension, then we wanted to go surfing, and then we just slide that over and then just be surfing tension? And then if we wanted to do pickleball, and be pickleball tension over here. These are just skills. But unless as coaches we experience the whole range, we can't guide the person to where they need to be. You know, there's even moments where we need. So Kev, you're asking about the gait here. You know, this thing that only sprinters and, you know, high level athletes can be, which is extend and have this like, you know, as a sprinter, it'd be like this whip, right? The whip, people get into and they see the whip and they go, oh, I'll just do the whip. It's the same thing as just doing the knee over toe split squat. But there's no tension there. Where the reason why the whip works is because the hamstring is preloading tension, and then it goes. So it's like preemptive strike. We need the tension before we hit the ground. Like if we're tensioning as we hit the ground, we're too late. Now we're like on a muscular system.
And you were talking about if you'd lost, say, for example, like, you know, the way you're talking about, it's for, say, like sprinter tension. And I'm thinking about that with this, you know, as you were saying, deep knee bend squat. It's like, if I'm going here and I think about tensing, like, I kind of feel like I'm losing it here. But it's like, to the extent that I know it's on, but it's not like sprinter tension like what you're talking about, where you feel like you could spring. So I feel like there's levels to what you're talking about.
It's a sliding scale.
Yeah.
And the best way to feel tension is actually put your hamstring, actually use your hand to be like, okay, it's on.
Yes.
And then you'll feel when it's off. So then you'll notice that like there might be a reason why it turns off. That reason might be like, oh, maybe my ankle's blocked and I can't keep the tension through the ankle. And it's like, it's this whole diagnostic process, right? It's not just like a one-off sort of thing.
Yeah.
It can be, but it's a diagnostic process. When I had big ankle injury, I couldn't keep tension through the knee, through a certain range in the ankle. I couldn't keep tension in the foot through a certain range of the ankle. It's just another tool to, and people say like, well, this doesn't add strength. I'll be like, yeah, no, it really, really does. This is just an out of the box concept that we're not focusing on because of whatever. So.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
So, like, to create tension, it's basically like muscles have like they're either off or on. So you basically like, if you want to create tension in your quad, you flex your quad essentially, or